The reflection of the vast expanse covered by his inner small universe astonished Luo Feng. Each primal chaos prefecture was incredibly vast, with large cities being merely an insignificant point within a primal chaos prefecture. It must be understood that even a second-rate country typically has only a few dozen primal chaos prefectures. As for third-rate countries, their entire territory encompasses roughly 10 primal chaos prefectures. The reach of Luo Feng's world reflection could encompass 3 primal chaos prefectures, which revealed how terrifying it was. Within the range of world reflection, I can call upon the power of the world, in a thought to obliterate my enemies. My current strength is almost comparable to that of an undefeatable first realm of godly king, and yet I possess such methods. What about those at the second realm of the godly king, or even at the ultimate realm? Luo Feng became increasingly clear-headed. No wonder the catastrophe beasts at the ultimate realm of the godly king can unleash apocalyptic disasters. An undefeatable first realm godly king is by default considered an overlord of the land of origin. A true first realm godly king has a far superior divine power reserve than mine. If they were to cultivate into a world life form, it would only be more colossal. This was also why Luo Feng considered himself nearly an undefeatable first realm godly king. However, at this moment he was continuously absorbing energy, his home small universe was also transmitting energy, and his physical body was still growing. He believed it would not take too long to reach the standard of a normal undefeated first realm godly king. I still need to familiarize myself with my body and unearth its many capabilities. Luo Feng's true body instantly entered the garrison mansion of Huyang City. As a cultivator of the great Tao of life origin, having numerous avatars, the significance of his true body and avatars wasn't much different. As long as a sliver of strength remained, he could cultivate it back. Consequently, treasures like the Star Tower became even more important. Having heard too many accounts of second-realm godly kings getting attacked by the 2 ancient countries, Luo Feng dared not bring it out until he had thoroughly researched the Star Tower. Although he was now qualified to be called an overlord, he still had to remain low-key in the face of the 2 ancient countries. According to the world life form, this special great inheritance, I am currently merely at the threshold of being a world life form. The more Luo Feng understood, the humbler he became. According to the inheritance, the primordial life outside the braided cage could even have a body that rivaled a source world. Compared to such existences, he was as insignificant as an ant. At least I have taken the first step. Luo Feng then resumed his closed-door cultivation, familiarizing himself with his various abilities. Xiangjie City. How long do you plan to stay in Palu City this time? Moyu Qingyan asked his wife, Zhang Yunj. I don't know, Zhang Yunj said. You don't know? Moyu Qingyan was taken aback. Zhang Yunj explained, having the opportunity to become a disciple of godly King Palu is an incredible fortune for me. Of course, I must seize the chance and cultivate at Palu Mountain. Only by cultivating continuously at Palu Mountain do I have the opportunity to frequently receive guidance from my master. If I'm always in Xiangjie City, when will I get such guidance? That's not what I meant. Moyu Qingyan said, I hold an important position in Xiangjie City, and I can't leave for an extended period. If you're always in Palu City, wouldn't we be separated all the time? We are both cultivators, being apart for a short time is nothing we can't endure. Zhang Yunj said. Read latest chapters on Empire. How about you leave a divine power incarnation here? Moyu Qingyan suggested. Cultivation requires focus and one must not be distracted. Zhang Yunj said, when I feel it is time to come back, I will return. Moyu Qingyan looked at Zhang Yunj, feeling a mix of emotions. You're not even willing to spare a divine power incarnation from distraction? His parents had a great relationship and had 3 children. His elder brother and younger brother were the same, both having wives and children. Moyu Qingyan too had thought to marry and have children. Only, his wife Zhang Yunj placed great importance on the path of cultivation. Qingyan, Morosa appeared beside her and said with a smile, I've told you before, emotions will affect your cultivation. Look, Yungu is very decisive. She doesn't want to have children, she wants to focus on cultivation. She doesn't even want to leave a divine power incarnation, she wants to focus on cultivation. She is seizing the opportunity to dedicate her heart to cultivation. Luo Feng was immersed in his own closed-door cultivation, not paying attention to his disciples' affairs. But Morosa was always watching, keeping an eye on the progress of his disciples' emotions. Emotions affect cultivation? Moyu Qingyan shook her head. My father, my brothers, none of them have such issues. Isn't that what Yungu is doing? Cutting off distractions, focusing solely on cultivation, eliminating all interference, Morosa said leisurely. Why can't emotions and cultivation coexist? Moyu Qingyan did not believe it. Time passed once more. Moyu Qingyan personally went to Palu City, arriving on Palu Mountain. Divine Monarch Moyu, Sister Zhang is sparring with other fellow sect members. A disciple enthusiastically greeted her and guided her on the way. Moyu Qingyan saw it too. She saw Zhang Yunj and 5 other fellow sect members sparring and exchanging pointers. Naturally, Zhang Yunj was much weaker in strength, but the others were giving her face, controlling their power. Why have you come? Zhang Yunj saw Moyu Qingyan and approached with a smile. You never returned, so I had to come here, Moyu Qingyan said. Zhang Yunj explained with a smile, this place is truly fit for the cultivation of godly kings. The disciples here are very outstanding, many much stronger than me. Sparring with them I gain a lot. Cultivating here is much better than in Xiangjie City. I believe you understand too, Qingyan. Has Palu Godly King given you any guidance? Moyu Qingyan asked. Not yet, Zhang Yunj replied. No one knows when Master will appear, it's a matter of luck. Perhaps after some time, Master will give us some guidance. Moyu Qingyan looked at her. Then when do you plan to return? Why are you rushing me? Zhang Yunj's expression changed as she looked at Moyu Qingyan. This is Master's place. To be able to become a direct disciple of a godly king is a tremendous opportunity. Why would you want to block my chance? I came to confirm one thing. If you want to focus entirely on cultivation, not wanting to be disturbed by emotions, not wanting my interference, Moyu Qingyan said as he looked at Zhang Yunj, then I also do not wish to be disturbed by you. Zhang Yunj was stunned. Let's hear your decision, Moyu Qingyan said. I won't give up the path of cultivation, Zhang Yunj said calmly as she looked at Moyu Qingyan. This is the greatest opportunity for cultivation I've had since I was born. No one will stop me, Qingyan, you should know my choice. I guessed as much, just wanted a clear answer. Moyu Qingyan turned around and walked away. Let's just part ways here then. Zhang Yunj watched Moyu Qingyan leave but did not call out to stop him. Cultivators, there are times to come together and times to part. In the ordinary days that lay before her, Moyu Qingyan was a good end. But now she is a direct disciple of a godly king, a path she is more dedicated to. Emotions will only affect me, Zhang Yunj thought in her heart and turned to join her fellow sect members. Master, Morosa communicated through mental transmission. Immersed in the study of the life form, Luo Feng replied, Morosa, what's happened? Master, you don't care about your disciple? Your disciple and Zhang Yunj have completely split, Morosa said excitedly. Split? Luo Feng was surprised. He, as a master, indeed wasn't very responsible. He hadn't seen Zhang Yunj more than a few times himself. I felt something was not right for a while now. Qingyan has been so troubled by her that he couldn't focus. This trip to Palu Mountain, sure enough, it turned out just as I had thought, they really did split up. Morosa said joyfully, it's good that they split, very good indeed. It's just a small trial of emotions. Luo Feng laughed, not taking it too seriously, and continued to focus on his own cultivation. I'm at a critical moment in my cultivation, you take care of Qingyan's matter. Alright, it's all on me. Morosa didn't need to focus on cultivation and was quite bored anyway, so naturally he stayed constantly aware of Moyu Qingyan's situation. Outside Huyang City, in the quiet room of the city owner's mansion. Dressed in silver robes, Luo Feng sat cross-legged. The material of the 10 Directions world form he had constructed was based on the Silver Mountain Beast King, and even his robe was a natural condensation of power, tough and indestructible. The inner world founded upon the foundation of primal chaotic space became even more formidable and stable. Having mastered the basics of being a world life form and familiarizing myself with my own abilities, it is time to comprehend the secret techniques that harness the power of a world life form, Luo Feng mused as he looked at his palm, which possessed endless might. Boom. The aura in Luo Feng's palm suddenly surged. Previously, imitating the form of primal chaos layer creatures, I was unable to ignite my power. However, with this 10 Directions world form, I can ignite the power for a greater burst. Luo Feng observed the modest strength erupting from his palm. But when unleashing the power, it places a higher demand on spiritual will. I also need to comprehend the secret technique of igniting power. Luo Feng was grateful that as a world life form, part of the special great inheritance, he had access to many complementary secret techniques. The only problem was, attempting to comprehend these techniques at the level of primal chaos realm was extremely difficult. The royal capital of Shure Kingdom covered an expansive area, with a majestic royal palace at its center, the palace of the Emperor of Tianquan. Inside the palace, Big Brother, Monarch. The other 4 godly kings of Shure Kingdom addressed each other differently. Wuxiang Ancestor, Demon Blade Ancestor, and the Emperor of Tianquan had been through life and death situations together, conquered battles, and founded the nation side by side since they were in the first realm of godly king. Even after the Emperor of Tianquan had reached the second realm of godly king, they continued to call each other brothers. The other 2, Stream Rue Godly King and Skull Peak Godly King, were invited to join later when the Emperor of Tianquan was already in the second realm of godly king. My lords, the Emperor of Tianquan said as he sat in the seat of honor. Even as he sat there, his invisible aura of terror caused the other 4 to hold their breath. They also knew that the Emperor of Tianquan, having obtained the more profound primordial bloodline from Flame Wind Ancient Country and now following the primordial bloodline path, was not comparable to a newly ascended second realm godly king. The existence of a godly king in the second realm, each a ruler in their own right, initially sought to reach the ultimate realm on their own strength. They all knew that cultivating the primordial bloodline came with many future problems. However, as time passed, those in the second realm of godly king realized just how far the ultimate realm of god king was from them. When the gap was overwhelming, they would despair and choose another path, relying on external powers and following the bloodline path with the help of the primordial bloodline. In Flame Wind Ancient Country, 6 emperors cultivated with the help of primordial bloodline, and including the empress's previous life, there were arguably 7 bloodline path emperors. In Thunder Ancient Country, every emperor followed the primordial bloodline path. Seeing both imperial clans of the ancient countries follow this path shows that indeed it is a clear way forward. Its biggest advantage, a significant increase in strength, cannot be overshadowed by all potential problems. One by one, those non-imperial strong forces hit their limits, and one after another, they switched to cultivating the primordial bloodline. Even though the primordial bloodline they acquired and many other supplementary resources were far inferior to those of the emperors and monarchs of the two ancient countries, these were still enough to significantly enhance their strength. Within the treasure land Tianhe, I, together with my friends, have set up an ambush, intending to destroy the true body of the monarch of Yu country in one fell swoop, the emperor of Tianquan declared. As long as his true body is annihilated, all the great resources and primordial bloodline he obtained at great cost will be wasted. This was a flaw in cultivating the primordial bloodline path. Much of the resources were invested in the physical body, and with the true body's death, it was tantamount to bankruptcy. If they were to cultivate again using a resurrection body, they would have to start all over again. As for those who cultivate on their own, even after reincarnation they could quickly return to their peak strength. The monarch of Yu country, gravely wounded, fled deep into Tianhe. We tried our best to hunt him down, but he would take refuge wherever it was dangerous. The emperor of Tianquan shook his head. That's why I think we should force him out from the outside. The other 4 godly kings of Shure kingdom listened. Force from the outside? Our territory of Shure kingdom will advance towards Yu kingdom along the entire border, the emperor of Tianquan said. Do not advance too quickly, capturing one primal chaos prefecture after another. I want to see if the monarch of Yu country still has the patience to hide within Tianhe. Clever, the Wuxiang ancestor said excitedly. This monarch of Yu country doesn't possess the clone technique. He only has 2 options, either hide in Tianhe and watch Yu kingdom being invaded and shrinking, or give up his true body and cultivate a new one to defend the kingdom. To give up his true body and cultivate again would mean a significant reduction in strength. Yet, as a second realm godly king, he would still possess deterrence. What if the godly kings of the Yu kingdom intervene? Skull Peak godly king asked. Those who obstruct us will be killed, the emperor of Tianquan replied calmly. This matter was decided together with several friends, and we must drive the monarch of Yu country out of Tianhe. His primordial bloodline offers him more advantages in exploring Tianhe than us. The other 4 godly kings understood. These first realm godly kings struggled immensely to enter the most ordinary treasures like the infinite space. Among them, Wuxiang ancestor only had one opportunity to visit infinite space by relying on his brotherhood and selling himself to the 2 realms palace. Even more precious treasures? They dare not even dream of gaining entrance. These are the battlegrounds for the second realm of godly kings. For those in the first realm of godly king, their most stable source of resources still comes from their own territories. Vast lands continuously produce various natural treasures, and the residence fee from numerous cities also adds up. Though it may not seem much, over time, it becomes the most substantial income for a first realm godly king. But the emperor of Tianquan was not interested in such gains. His sights were set on the resources within the treasure land Tianhe. The resources of Tianhe for those cultivators of water-type primordial bloodlines were exceedingly beneficial. Monarch of Yu country hasn't made an appearance, and I reckon not many other godly kings dare to act. If they did, having their true body extinguished once would be enough to keep them far away, said the godly king of Demon Blade at one side. But big brother, that great Saint Luo he does have a city on the border, Huyang City. Shall we make a move? Luo he. The emperor of Tianquan smiled lightly. A single city is nothing much, let him have it. Our objective is to force the monarch of Yu country's hand. He got off easy, said Wuxiang the ancient ancestor on the side. You all draft the detailed invasion plan. I only have one requirement, act as soon as possible, the emperor of Tianquan instructed. I want to see whether the monarch of Yu country can hold back or not. Yes. Wuxiang, the ancient ancestor, the godly king of Demon Blade, the godly king of Flowing Radium, and the godly king of Bone Summit responded with respect. Outside Huyang City, clad in a robe of silver, Luo Feng stood in the midst of a mountain forest. He looked at a plant in front of him that bore purple flowers. When he stretched out his hand to touch the purple blossom, the flower swayed and its aura rapidly intensified. From an ordinary plant, the aura quickly reached True God level, True God of Void Space level, and even Eternal True God level. Boom! The purple flower burst into ashes. Not even an Eternal True God level life form can be catalyzed. Luo Feng shook his head lightly. In the land of origin there are some ancient beings that can catalyze godly king level powers. The gap is not just a small one. Luo Feng walked to a red fruit tree beside him and attempted to touch it once more. The red fruit tree swayed along, its aura surging vastly, and then much like before upon reaching the aura of Eternal True God level, it also completely disintegrated into ashes. Let's try again. Flowers, grass and even rocks, Luo Feng tried to catalyze them all, yet everything turned to ashes. An exotic beast in the distance watched this scene. Observing the flowers and grass reach the aura of an Eternal True God level, then turn to ashes, it was frightened into fleeing far away. Where exactly is the problem? Luo Feng stood amidst the forest, very perplexed and deep in thought, wondering where the flaw lay in the combination of the 6 major branches of life. In the midst of deep contemplation, in the collisions of life's 6 major branch mysteries, all of a sudden, the complete vitality branch emerged in his mind. Luo Feng was stunned. The life spirituality branch? Luo Feng had felt long ago that just by comprehending the 6 major branches of the great Tao of life origin, he would be able to grasp them with ease. But he had followed the guidance of the special grade inheritance, not pursuing deliberate comprehension. Instead, he focused on understanding high-level secret techniques at a lower realm. But at this moment, without deliberate comprehension, the life spirituality branch had already emerged in his mind. So this is the complete life spirituality branch. Luo Feng studied it carefully. Boom. Boom. As Luo Feng contemplated the complete life spirituality branch, it triggered a response, and naturally he understood two more branches, precisely the origin of life and body of life branches, the ones he had been pondering the longest. 3 branches have been realized? A smile appeared on Luo Feng's face, feeling the 3 branches and contrasting them with the secret technique, 10 directions world form. Spirit light surfaced in his mind, deepening his understanding of the 10 directions world form. Suddenly the remaining 3 branches were also naturally comprehended. The blood branch, which is a very famous branch under the great Tao of life origin. Many other godly kings from different paths yearn to comprehend it, as it brings many advantages to cultivating the primordial bloodline. The vitality branch, once achieved, bestows an incredibly lively life force. Even if a strand of divine power is annihilated, it can recover naturally. To completely obliterate it becomes 100-fold or 1,000-fold more difficult. The life and death branch. Outside of the land of origin, there are legends of a death origin Tao, which naturally encompasses many aspects. However, the death branch of the great Tao of life origin is merely one aspect of life. The disappearance of life makes way for a better rebirth. Gathering together to the end and comprehending one branch, it has a continuous effect, naturally leading to the realization of all 6 branches. Luo Feng was quite pleased. Morosa had also comprehended 6 major branches at once. Although there was a slight difference in sequence for me, still, within the time of 1 cup of tea, all 6 branches were comprehended. Compared to that, my accumulation in the great Tao of destruction's origin is much weaker. Luo Feng understood this point. On one hand, the mysteries of destruction's origin that Morosa displayed were inferior to the complete shock exhibited by the great Tao of life origin of the primordial cosmos, resulting in a much weaker effect on comprehension. On the other hand, Luo Feng had dedicated most of his efforts to the 10 directions world form. After all, the transformation method is most suitable for this path. Now that I've comprehended, let's become a godly king. Luo Feng had no thoughts of delaying whatsoever. Back in his hometown region within Luo Feng's small universe, Su Xan, Luo Ping, Luo Hai and others, including his father Luo Honghua, mother Gong Xan Lan, younger brother Luo Hua, and Luo Feng's personally cultivated child Shima, were transported there. Luo Feng, why did you summon everyone over? Su Xan was somewhat surprised as everyone present possessed immortal lives, making it rare for them all to gather together. Dad must have something important. Luo Hai looked at his father, full of anticipation. The silver-haired youth, Shima, stood by the side. Being the only true god among the Yuhai lineage cultivated by Luo Feng, he was filled with endless admiration for Father God. There is indeed something important. Luo Feng looked at his dearest family members. I am about to break through and my small universe will expand massively once again. This will also be the last expansion of my small universe. You can go outside the universe and watch the entire process closely. According to Luo Feng's understanding, a small universe at the godly king level was already its final form. In weaker times, each level of transformation had to be accompanied by transformations in the small universe before the godly body could transform. If the small universe perished, strength could not break through. Of course, in the primal chaos realm, if one's spiritual will was strong enough, one could start a new life with the reincarnation secret technique. Once one became a godly king, growth thereafter would no longer be constrained by the small universe. Even if the small universe perished, a godly king with a high enough realm could still reach beyond the ultimate realm of God King. That's because the ultimate realm of God King had already mastered a complete origin great Tao. To comprehend deeper levels beyond was already outside the range of supreme rules, and one must grope alone in the darkness. Dad, your small universe is already 1 trillion light-years in diameter. It's going to get even bigger? Luo Ping was also quite shocked. Just watch and you'll know soon enough. Luo Feng smiled. Alright Shima, you escort everyone out. Yes, Father God, Shima responded. Soon, Shima piloted a flying boat secret treasure, taking everyone to a far area outside the small universe. Last time, it took Luo Feng 5 years for his small universe to grow from 100 billion light-years to 1 trillion light-years in diameter, Luo Honghua said as he observed the massive small universe from afar through the flying boat. I wonder how big it will get this time. It's always tenfold each time. Could it really reach 10 trillion light-years in diameter this time? Luo Hai couldn't help but say. The diameter of the primordial cosmos itself is 10 trillion light-years. Could Dad's small universe become as large as the primordial cosmos? Luo Ping couldn't believe it. In the eyes of all the creatures in the surrounding regions, the primordial cosmos is very unique. It is vast and is the cradle of countless races. All creatures think that a small universe is fundamentally inferior to the primordial cosmos. It's expanding. Su Xian looked outside the flying boat. The already massive small universe suddenly brightened up. Infinite energy, as if descending from nothingness, continuously flowed into Luo Feng's small universe, rapidly growing it. 1 trillion light-years, 1.5 trillion light-years, 2 trillion light-years. With its size increasing dramatically, the growth rate began to slow down. The influx of energy did not slow down, but the more it grew later, the more energy it required. The growth rate of the small universe left Luo Feng's family aboard the flying boat in awe. How can it grow so fast this time? It's much faster than last time. Suexian, Luo Hai and others were very shocked. As it grew too quickly, when Luo Feng's small universe reached 3 trillion light-years in diameter, other cultivators from the surrounding areas arrived, including human race true gods and primal chaos overlords, as well as mighty ones from other races. The mighty ones from various races were shocked as they looked on. The primordial cosmos has a diameter of 10 trillion light-years. Luo Feng's small universe now measured 3 trillion light-years and was still growing. Visually, it was increasingly nearing the primordial cosmos. How can Luo Feng's small universe be so large? The primal chaos city lord was immensely shocked, especially when the small universes of typical true gods were merely 100 million light-years in diameter. Luo Feng's small universe had grown unbelievably large. The difference was countless times. Just 3 months. Under the gaze of various mighty ones, in just 3 months Earth time, and with mind-boggling energy influx, Luo Feng's small universe grew to its limit. Regardless of whether it was other races or the human race, everyone watched in disbelief. Even though they were witnessing it all happen before their eyes, it was still overwhelmingly shocking. 10 trillion light-years in diameter, the same size as the primordial cosmos. A cultivator's small universe can reach this step? The various cultivators thought. Meanwhile, the divine power incarnation of the Primordial Ancestor was also watching alone. Hailing from the land of origin and having achieved the primal chaos realm and becoming a guest elder of the flame wind ancient country, the Primordial Ancestor had seen much, making him find this all the more incredible. I've always known that Luo Feng's small universe was absurdly large among its peers, but I never expected that at the godly king level, it would reach a scale unprecedented in the entire land of origin, the Primordial Ancestor observed. Even the small universes of godly kings, despite becoming stronger and diligently repairing their cosmic frameworks, could never reach this level due to flaws in their foundational nature present at birth. Only those with a foundation of a perfect life form could possess a perfection-level godly king's small universe. Luo Feng's foundation is too profound, the Primordial Ancestor thought to himself. I believe Luo Feng's future will render him a prominent figure throughout the entire land of origin, perhaps even deciding the fates of countless creatures. The Primordial Ancestor, who journeyed through the cycles of reincarnation with Luo Feng, could distinctly feel Luo Feng's rapid growth. He had Luo Feng's help, inheritance and resources. But Luo Feng had been struggling alone, growing even faster than the Primordial Ancestor himself. Even in his hometown, he was invincibly sweeping across dangers and resolving the catastrophe of the sector beast. In the land of origin he became a godly king in no time. I am witnessing the birth of a miracle, the Primordial Ancestor was astounded. This time, as soon as Luo Feng's small universe broke through, boundless energy from a mysterious land came pouring in, leading to such rapid growth. Boom. As energy descended from the mysterious land, it also connected this place with Luo Feng's consciousness. The moment their consciousnesses connected, Luo Feng grasped much information. This infusion of infinite energy was the first and last of its kind. Luo Feng's small universe had reached the same level as the primordial cosmos, which was the maximum level allowed by the entire source world. Moreover, afterward, Luo Feng's small universe, like the primordial cosmos, had an upper limit to the energy it could hold. This was also why most areas of the primordial cosmos were void and dark. Because the energy was limited and as the creatures proliferated and their cultivation grew stronger, the needed energy would gradually exceed the carrying limit, even causing the void areas of darkness within the primordial cosmos to expand and ultimately self-destruct. From now on I can control the population within my small universe, Luo Feng thought. This is the difference between having an owner and being ownerless. With an owner it can be perfectly maintained, even perpetually sustained. Ownerless? Without the ability to restrain countless creatures, it can only undergo great destruction and start anew. A small universe is also a kind of grace bestowed upon countless cultivators. It allows cultivators to better understand the rules of the universe's operation. It allows cultivators to absorb energy thousands to millions of times faster, thus sustaining a massive godly body. In the land of origin, cultivators generally have larger godly bodies than those from other source worlds, precisely because of the existence of small universes. Luo Feng could sense this information. The supreme rules are compassionate, protective, and hopeful for the creatures to grow into a towering tree that can even nourish the source world in return. Every source world has different rules, but all are protective of all life. Are our godly bodies generally much larger because of the small universes? Luo Feng understood. Indeed, if he let his body absorb the energy of heaven and earth directly, it would be much slower than through the small universe. If the godly body were destroyed, rebuilding it might take tens of thousands of eras, perhaps not even enough time. But with a small universe, it could be restored within one era. So, a small universe is really a kind of grace. Luo Feng's consciousness connected with the mysterious land, gaining more understanding and glimpsing this area. Here there are 9 great origin Tao paths. Time, space, life, destruction, infinite, matter, extreme point, world, causality. Each origin great Tao has many aspects. Different observation methods yield different results. This is the first time I have seen the complete great Tao of destruction origin. Luo Feng watched the paths of life and destruction the most clearly, as he was most familiar with them, and his attention immediately focused on the Great Tao of Destruction Origin. The Great Tao of Destruction Origin, at first glance, resembled a terrifying dark red monster, its gaping maw as if ready to devour everything. Upon closer inspection, it also depicted the true form of a sector beast, holy and beautiful, devoid of any destructive atmosphere. In a trance, it seemed like a giant black eye, making Luo Feng's heart tremble. Having a deep understanding of the 6 branches of the Great Tao of Destruction Origin and reaching a bottleneck enabled Luo Feng to see many aspects of the entire Great Tao of Destruction Origin, deepening his understanding significantly. For a long time, he only contemplated the Great Tao of Destruction Origin as shown by Morosa. For the first time he contemplated it completely. Naturally Luo Feng gained a lot. I feel that if I focus on contemplating the 6 branches of the Great Tao of Destruction Origin, it won't take long before I comprehend it. Luo Feng suddenly had this intuition, the first time he felt this way about the Great Tao of Destruction Origin. No rush, according to the guidance of my predecessors, I will contemplate high realm secret techniques in a low realm as the main practice, constantly increasing my accumulation until a natural breakthrough occurs. Luo Feng, now a godly king, was even less hurried. Each step must be more solid. The more solid the further you go. After all, the supreme rules could not bestow any more upon me. Luo Feng understood this point. Becoming a godly king this time, the infusion of infinite energy, and letting his spirit touch the supreme rules, were the last graces bestowed upon him. Afterward it was all up to Luo Feng to fight on his own. Luo Feng could also feel the innate expectation of the supreme rules. It was hoping that this outstanding child would grow up sufficiently outstanding to, at some point, protect it in return. Are there crises even for the supreme rules in this world? Luo Feng faintly sensed. Luo Feng felt that his time merging with the supreme rules was running short and stopped contemplating the complete Great Tao of Destruction Origin, beginning to observe the others. 9 origin Great Taos. Luo Feng saw. These 9 origin Great Taos do not merge with each other. They only affect each other, combining and operating together, ultimately forming the complete, supreme rules of the land of origin, determining all. The ways creatures are conceived, the methods of cultivation, time, space and other aspects, are all decided by the supreme rules. This. Luo Feng's consciousness tried to observe a broader scope. He saw the entire land of origin. He saw further across the 4 corners of the universe ocean. The reach of the universe ocean was billions of times larger than the land of origin. But the energy was thinner, more void. At the very edges of the universe ocean, different space-time layers held 3,000 primordial cosmoses. Luo Feng also saw his own hometown's primordial cosmos, next to which was another universe of comparable size, which was his own small universe. A broader scope. Luo Feng's consciousness continued to seek a larger scope. His perception clearly sensed the entire source world. The vast source world like a supergiant egg. The core of the egg was the land of origin, surrounded by the endless universe ocean. The 3,000 primordial cosmoses were merely floating specks of light. Beyond the source world? Beyond this supergiant egg was a dark void, which Luo Feng could no longer see clearly. Sigh. Following that, Luo Feng's consciousness was completely expelled from this mysterious place. This opportunity to merge his spirit with the supreme rules was also, under the allowance of the supreme rules, the only opportunity Luo Feng would have in his lifetime. Thank you for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, please subscribe and turn on the notifications so you won't miss any of our upcoming great videos.